Burd. Welcome everybody. Happy last day of February. I know there's some major congrats to Elise who's on. She just locked in Success Club. I've been chatting with several people today who have been down to the wire, so super proud of you, and a few others. I know Michelle Cockrell, she secured hers this afternoon. She sent me a message before heading in for her night shift at work, and Courtney Kaler sent me a text just a few minutes ago while I was putting the kids to bed. I saw it, that she got Success Club 5, so love seeing that last minute push. I don't want to take up too much time. We have Beth on tonight, but real quick, obviously last day of the month, but our whole all access deal, that was, the promo, so to speak, for January, February isn't necessarily going away at the $199 price. That's here. It will remain at $199. The Beachbody On Demand is going to remain at $99. The only change at this point is that Success Club 3. This is the 3 Success Club points for the on-demand challenge pack is being taken down to 2. But at the same time, your Shakeology HD orders are being taken up to 2. So it's just going to be level playing field. So if we had, as a team, last year I would kind of estimate based off the ones that we would have, but I like to quantify like how many people we were able to impact every month. And now that'll be a much easier calculation because every person is going to essentially be 2 Success Club points. So back to 3 people that you can help get started every month will get you to that Success Club 5 benchmark. So that's super exciting. Other than that, the only other thing upcoming is we have April 8th, 7th, Super Saturday in Pittsburgh. Today is the last day for the discounted tickets. So the way we did this event a little bit different. There was tiered pricing with the Tony Horton photo op, and then there were some guest tickets. There were some children tickets. I know there's some people who will bring their kids along. And then there were just your general admission tickets. But today was the last day for that promotional pricing. So after today, the ticket prices will go up. So make sure that if you're coming to Pittsburgh, which I know Lindsay is traveling up from North Carolina, which is super exciting. If you haven't got your tickets yet for that, make sure you get them today. I cannot wait for that one. That'll be fun. I've never actually done a whole lot with Tony Horton, so it'll be different, and maybe it'll be some sort of clue. I know if you guys didn't see, there was a surge on Friday. I didn't really think that it was necessarily like promoted that this surge was happening. Maybe I just missed it somewhere along the lines, but there's a 1-hour surge. I shared it from the Team Beachbody 411 page into our team page. It was about an hour long. It was actually done at the New Leader Conference where Beth was. And basically Carl talked to 3 newer leaders that kind of just shared little bits of, their coaching business and journeys. It was it was very relatable. I think you'll find it, more so than like the 15 stars that you hear of on the actual wake up call. These were, moms that are just building their businesses. And it was a good call, but he mentioned on there that there will be 2 announcements at the April Super Saturday. No idea what they are. There's been rumors of, new programs. There's the Shakeology flavor that's supposed to come out sometime soon. I don't have a clue in the world what they will be, but we will find out at that Super Saturday. So that's all I got right now, but I wanted to welcome Beth. I'm excited to have her on here. Beth and I actually started coaching around the same time, but funny story, she, not funny, but her coach quit. Her coach was in and done and long gone, and Beth kind of got absorbed up under Deidre, and it's crazy because I would have just thought that Deidre recruited her onto her team. So I've known Beth for almost 3 years, and the one thing that has always stuck out to me, Beth got started in this not because she was like, oh, great, amazing opportunity. Her coach presented it to her in a way where she was told, if you got 3 people to come on with you, it's going to cover the cost of your challenge pack. If I remember, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Beth. Beth was done. 3 people covers my cost. I don't have the money. I don't want to spend the money on this for myself, so I'm just going to get 3 people. And she was out like a rocket from day one. So I'm excited to have you. She is a 3-star diamond coach. She's diamond in her second business center as well, which may sound like gibberish to some of you at this point, but big picture, once you're a 2-star, you can open a second U and build that as well. So she's diamond there, and she's a Success Club 5 legend, and she just got back from the New Leader Conference in LA. So I will mute myself and let you take it away.
Hey guys, thank you guys so much. It's so nice to see nice new faces. that's probably like one of my favorite things, is getting to know other coaches on other teams. And that was definitely one of my favorite parts of the New Leader Conference. But yeah, just to touch on what Megan said, yeah. So I saw my coach having results whenever she started, and I messaged her about it. And back then it was 21-day fixed promo price of $140. And I was like, $140, that is crazy. I'm not paying that. And I was selling Pampered Chef at the time, because I needed like a little bit of a second job, because I had a 15-month-old at home at that point. And so I wanted a little bit of extra income. So I was doing Pampered Chef. But if you know anything about like Pampered Chef or any of those kind of places, to make money, like you either had to like do parties for people online, which is like, you're trying to sell for other people, you know what I mean? You're trying to convince other people to buy something to get your person, you know, obviously some rewards, or you have to go and do a party for them. And it's funny that I chose Pampered Chef, because I don't like to cook at all. So I was like going out doing these cooking shows, which I didn't really necessarily love. And it was taking up my weekend and stuff. So when I didn't start really necessarily for the business opportunity, but when I did finally like get over the price, I messaged my coach back. She was like, "Oh, the sale price is over now. It's $160." So then I actually ended up paying $160 for my challenge package. And that's when I was kind of like, well, okay, tell me what I have to do to get this money back, when she presented the coaching opportunity. And then once I found out that like this was, you know, I was making money by doing, you know, not having to go out and do shows or find people to do parties and things like that, it became a lot clearer to me that this was a better business opportunity for a busy mom than using my weekends and my weeknights to go out and do shows. So that's just a little bit about me. I have been a coach for 3 years. And so each year I kind of set these goals. Like when you, if any of you are diamonds, you get a corporate mentor. And last year when I got my corporate person, it was Lacey, and she gave me a handout, and it was broken down by quarter. And I'd never, as simple as it sounds, I'd never had anybody give me the handout that was broken down by quarter. And you had to tell you know, you had to put your goals that you were going to reach by quarter one, by quarter two. And it kind of made it like a little bit more attainable for me. And I made my goals not really, I made them about income, but I made them more about, I wanted two things I really wanted from my business. Obviously I wanted elite, but two other things I wanted were to go to the leadership conference and to hit team leader on the leadership ladder. Those were two big goals I had. And so while I didn't hit elite last year, I hit those other two goals. So that was huge for me. And so getting to go to the New Leader Conference was like, I got to mark something off. So at the end of the year, when I was like looking through all the goals that I, you know, not necessarily didn't hit, it was nice to see that I accomplished that one big one. And if you guys are, you know, writing your goals for the year, I would definitely 100% put to try to get to 2-star to go to the New Leader Conference. They really rolled out the red carpet for you. If you had so many elite points, they actually gave you your hotel room for 2 nights for free, and you weren't staying at the Holiday Inn. I mean, we were at the JW Marriott in downtown LA. It was like practically attached to the Staples Center. It was gorgeous. It had, you know, it was all the bells and whistles. There was, you know, Scottie Pippen was there. There were like some famous people there. It was just really, really, really a neat hotel. And then, you know, we always joke when we go to different events for Beachbody that they don't feed you. Like you have to like bring your Shakeology in like a Kind bar. You're going to starve all day. They gave, you know, they had open bar for us the first night, and they had cocktails, and they had appetizers, and then they fed you. I mean, like they really made you feel like you were, you know, a top leader in the organization. So that was like really neat to see that. And then I didn't really expect that so many people from corporate were there, but literally everybody from corporate was there. We heard from Carl, you know, Michael Neiman was there, Jeff Hill, Sandy from the National Wake Up Call. We got to meet her. I mean, like she's like a celebrity in itself. Everybody from corporate was there, as far as like your corporate mentors, like the Jeff Mathewson and Kevin Shaw and Lacey. They were all there. And so it was really just like totally mind-blowing to see how much the effort they put into this event for 2 stars, and anybody that reached 2-star last year, because you expect this kind of stuff for the elite in the top 10, but you don't really think that you go there thinking like, how much effort are they really going to put into something for 2 stars? But it was unreal. And then, another thing that really was great for me is meeting so many new people. So even being part of the Dream Team, I met so many new people that I didn't know as part of Melanie's organization. Not to mention all the people that I met and became, friends with and Facebook friends with and got contact information for from the entire company. And we sat around one night and we just kind of like had wine and just kind of like brainstormed with each other. And that to me was even more valuable than some of the stuff that you sit and listen to when you're hearing the presentations. We sat and we started talking about like, what are you doing for onboarding new coaches? What are you, how are you running your life page? What are you doing recruitment wise, and just kind of bounced all those ideas off of each other. And you really kind of just came up with great ideas just from meeting new people and from, having those conversations with each other. But I did want to just mention a couple of things that they said that really stuck out with me. Obviously, like, I won't talk about, but like notes, pages and pages and pages of notes from the conference. And, I love hearing from, of course, Melanie, and we're kind of all used to hearing from her, but the other 2 speakers are Ashley Smith, and she was there last year as a attendee, and this year she is in the top 10. So that's, you see stories like that and you're like, wow, you really can go from like, I think she was an elite coach that, 5-star last year, and now this year top 10. That really can't happen in a year. And then Micah Folson. But we also heard from Michael Neiman, Jeff Hill. We heard from Doug Moss. And, we heard from, I can't remember the guy's name that's in, Kim Carver, obviously. And then we also heard from compliance, which was nice because hearing from the compliance executive himself, you kind of were like, okay, because you hear a bunch of different stuff. So he did touch on the whole network marketing thing, and he did say that, he did elaborate and say, as long as you're not making money from 2 network marketing companies. So it was nice to kind of hear his perspective on it too. But one of the things that Jeff Hill said, his presentation kind of stuck out to me the most, but one of the things that he said that really stuck with me was talking about like how you're making these lists of things you're going to do in your business in the year, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to start my like page, and I'm going to, start a blog, and I'm going to, recruit this many people a month. And he said, your stop doing lists are just as important as your start doing lists. And that really stuck out to me because there are so many things I do daily that I don't need to be doing. You know what I mean? And there are so many things that I waste time in my business that I know that now. And even just from talking to other people, somebody said to me, numerous personal development books they were mentioned. I'm like, yeah, I started that, but I didn't finish it. And, and it's just things that you kind of like hear, and you kind of just come to the realization that, okay, like, you need to, another thing he said was, he was talking about the Stockdale Pareto, and he said people that are optimists didn't confront the brutal facts. You have to believe that you will prevail, but you have to realize where you are. And that was huge to me because, you sit there and you think, okay, I'm definitely going to hit elite this year. I'm definitely going to, get to 6-star, 7-star, 10-star, whatever your goals are. And you're being real with yourself. You're being an optimist, and we read personal development. We're told constantly to be positive, stay positive, and all of those things. But what happened? Okay, I'm sorry. See, drama. It's coming. Go ahead, get back on it. Do you know where it is? Okay, go ahead. But then when you look at the big picture, like, you have to be honest with yourself with where you are. Are you really going to get there doing what you're doing? Are you really, if you don't stop doing some of the unnecessary things you're doing in your business, like, Libby, honey, mommy's on a call. I don't know what's happening. Okay, it's coming. I'm so sorry. I don't want that. Okay, listen. Can you go down and ask Daddy, please? Okay. If you don't stop doing some of the things that aren't making you money in your business, then you're never going. I don't know where Daddy is. He's downstairs, sweetheart. What about this? You don't want to watch this? No. Okay. I don't know if that makes sense, but so I started making my stop doing list, things that weren't bringing in the money, things that weren't, making me a better leader, things that weren't growing my business. And instead of, I've kind of made like that goal now that instead of making my to-do list, I'm going to start making my, my stop doing list and really just start focusing on, the vital behaviors and the basics and the necessary things to get my business moving forward. So that was kind of my main takeaway from the event. But yeah, I definitely recommend 100% you guys put this on your goal board. It is 100% like a game changer in the business, just being there, being with other people, making those network connections, and just like the fire under your butt to hear people and to see how they treat you. And, you think to yourself, if they treat 2-stars like this, you can imagine what they treat, what the leadership 5-star retreats like in November, or what the 10-star, the top 10 retreat is like, and it really just kind of gets your name out there. They had like a big board with everybody's name on it, and they gave you, lots of free stuff. And it just really was an awesome event that I definitely recommend trying to shoot for. So, and I apologize for my.
No apology needed. Everyone on this call is a mom, so everyone's like giving the mom head nod, like been there, done that. So no worries at all. Thank you, Beth. I appreciate you sharing with us. I think it's important to note Beth was one of I think it was 250 people that qualified to attend this event. So it's not a huge event, which I think what makes it so special. Like, you are part of a small group. I got to go last year. It's one of those things you can only go once. So you're invited the first time you achieve 2-star. So like anyone who would achieve 2-star above is it the end of the year? Mm-hmm. I think they changed it. I think it's if you're a 2-star by the end of December, you're eligible to go to it. And like Beth said, depending on how many elite points you get, aka what your team does, what your team can do, what you can help bring on new coaches, what they do, how they perform, you can essentially get the trip for free minus your airfare. When I went last year, Melissa Chavez, who's on the call, she's actually in LA. So for me, that was like just the extra icing on the cake, because not only did I get to go out to LA, but I got to meet one of my coaches who I had never met in person before. So that was a lot of fun. And like Beth was saying, it's the people. Like, we do so much of this behind a screen. Our team calls are behind a screen. Our challenge groups are ran through a computer screen. So this allows you to bring it together and to really just network with other people. Like, I remember, it's the trainings are like sitting in class. Like, you're sitting in there. It's like Summit, you have these great presentations and they're awesome. But when you get to sit down with like 5 or 6 or 8 people who you've seen their Facebook profile picture, and that's about as much as you know about them, and you get to just sit around together and bounce those ideas off of, like, that is so much more valuable than anything else. It's the same thing at Summit. Like, I had more fun last year at Summit when we would just sit in a room and talk at the end of the day. Like, the trainings are great and all the stuff's exciting and the workouts are fun, but when you can just talk to the people who you're connected with and share the ideas and, realize that like everyone struggles with the same struggles, and, you can learn from each other because your market's different than my market and we know different people, and you can really leverage that together. So I appreciate that, Beth. I think this whole stop doing list is like genius, because I don't know that you ever hear it that way. Great to-do list and you got to do this, but to stop Facebook scrolling like I do, I think that's a really good tip. So thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah, it was great. Thank you. And it was, I think the dates have been released, but I'm pretty sure next year's, as far as timing, is going to follow the same December or February timeframe. Do you have the dates written down?
I don't. I thought maybe I
feel like I'm pretty sure they were sticking to the same, because like when I went, it was in like the middle of January, but they bumped it, I think, to February to allow you all the way up until the end of the year to qualify for it. You know, they want to get you there. They know the fire that gets lit under you when you leave, you know, when you're surrounded with all these other people who are excited and got these ideas, and then what you can leave and go spread to your team. So
yeah, it was an awesome event. And you know, and another thing is everybody there was so real. Like when the corporate people were speaking, you know, Kim Carver spoke and got tears in his eyes. Jeff Hill spoke and got tears. And just
Jeff Hill is he is.
Yeah, I love.
He can tell you, like he'll capture you. And his like, I feel like he has 7 children because he talks about his 7 children in every presentation that he does.
Yep.
And I feel like I know his 7 children. I've heard him speak several times. Like he will get you into whatever he is sharing. And did he loop in a personal development book? He usually like takes a book that he's read and
talks about good to great.
Good to great. That's what he talked about that at ours too. But he just he's a great storyteller.
Yeah. I'll leave you guys with this. They did say, so good to great. Here's a couple of books that they mentioned throughout the presentations. If you guys are looking for new personal development. So a couple mentioned were Good to Great, 50 Ways to Yay, It's Not About You, Relentless, and The Go-Giver. So those were the ones that were mentioned throughout the presentation. So if you're looking for a new personal development book,
I just pulled this off my shelf today because I listened to the National Wake Up Call and she mentioned, I have it, but I haven't read it.
I haven't read it either.
Well, apparently I've started it. I'm on like, I don't know, the pages are in Roman numerals still. So I don't think I've got very far.
Not finishing personal development books is on my to stop doing list because I hardly ever finish them. I read them and then I get like word of another good one. I stop that one and I go to the next good one. But
that's a good list though, because other than Good to Great and then, or other than The Go-Giver and Good to Great, I haven't heard of the other 3.
Ashley Laughlin said The Go-Giver was a game changer in her business.
That's who it was. I listened to her on the thing. Cool.
So. Yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I'll let you all go. Perfect timing. So have a great night. If you haven't hit Success Club, you still have 2 hours and 34 minutes. Thanks, everyone. Good night. Bye.